Every day in America, 90 people die from opioid abuse. It's so bad the president has declared it a public health emergency. But in Kaufman County, one rehab facility has jumped into the fight by putting boots on the ground with a mobile crisis unit. Here's Sebastian Robertson with a look up close.
At just 19 years old, Jagger Watson was lost.
So my dad passed away, and after that happened, I got really depressed. And
in the grips of heroin addiction, the Rowlett teen needed help, and he knew it. His family reached out to a rehab facility, but their son disappeared.
I'm always in my car, always on the go.
That's where Micah Petty and her Ford Escape come in.
You know, they kind of look at me like, oh gosh, she's going to come in and talk me into doing something that I'm not ready to do.
Petty's goal is to reach people who ask for help, but for whatever reason, have a problem taking the next step. They may need a ride or help figuring out insurance.
I'm seeing all these new drugs popping up, synthetic drugs.
People who want treatment, but end up giving up before they get there.
When a person admits that they have a problem and makes that call for help, statistically, the clock starts ticking. There's just 24 hours before the addict either relapses or decides they don't want to go. That's the window of time she's trying to beat, and that's exactly what happened in this case.
We had a lot of back and forth, and I lost touch with him. I kept following back up with him, and I was scared, you know, well, maybe he isn't answering because he got a bad batch, or what if he took too much, you know.
Her persistence paid off.
Wait, is that him? Yeah, exactly.
It was her concern that ultimately got Watson back into treatment. Today he's sober, just a few weeks, spending his days at the treehouse in Kaufman County. The center uses conventional methods along with what they call adventure therapy. It's meant to get former addicts' adrenaline pumping in a different way, a healthy way.
It's very high up.
Every day gives Watson more clarity about how bad things really were.
I always said that I would never use needles, I would never snort, I would never do this or that, and it just got okayed at me, and it just became to where I just didn't really care, and I disregarded everything that I said before, and you know, my values that I held whenever I was younger, and I just slowly got worse and worse, and it just became okay to me.
He's in treatment because Petty and the mobile crisis unit tracked him down. Petty knows there's so many more people out there who want help.
And there's so many different options and different tracks to get sober.
She says it's her life mission to make sure they get that help in time.
They're lying, cheating, stealing, and that's what's really scary, is that when someone doesn't agree to go to treatment, you wonder, and they tell you, well, I'll call you when I'm ready. You're worried that if you're ever going to hear from them again.
But should they call, she's there with an encouraging word.
Anytime you want to change, there's change in the world, it's very scary. So I try to go and just explain it, and explain that they do have options, and that it's not as scary as they may think.
Watson has been in treatment before. It's tough.
Come on.
But he hopes this time will be the last. In Scurry,
Come on.
Sebastian Robertson, Channel 8 News.